Hello, I'm Brent from BotStacks, and I'm here today to introduce you to our AI assistant Canvas Designer. So just jumping straight in, we up here in the top right, you can create a new bot stack. I'll just call it Playground. And here's our canvas. So what this is it represents a conversation between a user and your AI assistant. In it will be nodes, all linked by channels. And basically those channels signify or like represent the conversational flow between the user and the AI assistant. So just getting straight in, we'll use, let's see, I'll throw in a routing node. So a routing node here is used to classify a user's intent. So what you have here is you have any intents. I have not added any. There's a couple here that are given to you for free, and basically, I'll show you what that is in a second. So here I'm just gonna check to see if the conversation, if we want to continue the conversation. So I'm just gonna call it end. I'm gonna say goodbye for an utterance. That's good enough for now. Could add more later. But so what I'm going to do is here, I'm going to select that intent I just created and then a fallback. So basically, what I'm doing here is I'm going to take when I start a conversation, it's going to hit this routing node, and in it, I'm going to classify the input that it received to say, am I ending the conversation? If I'm ending the conversation, I'm going to just end it right here, right? So then I'm done, all done. Actually, you know what? Instead of doing that, I'm gonna actually just do a text input. So I'm gonna give it the good old whatever. Thanks for chatting. Goodbye. Right. And then I'm gonna need a response AI node to send that back to the user, and then from there I'm gonna end it. So that's one path. So if I started the conversation, we could just do it right now. I'm gonna say hello. Well, actually, you know, I need to start by saying goodbye, so that we actually get there. And then there we are. So great, you saw it kind of follow that path. So that one's all set. Great. So so now we need to kind of, set up a chat. We'll just kind of set up a chat loop. We'll do the basic LLM here. So this is just using the OpenAI's chat, the GPT 3.5 model. And I'm going to say in here that you are Darth Vader, right? I like, and are keen on taking over the galaxy. So, so that's the system prompt, and I'm going to route that fallback. So any other intent that is not saying goodbye and ending the conversation is going to route to this LLM node. So there's one other piece that I need here. I'm gonna need to make sure that the output from this routing node, in the top right, you see that there's this little indicator, this ID identifier called routing-0. And what I need to do is I need to specify that is the input for the user prompt. So the output, like the text, the message from the user is going to come through the start node, hit this routing node, and it's gonna, if it figures out which path to take here, and then it's outputting the message. So it's just passing it through, and every one is just like that. So basically, if I wanted to do something with thanks for chatting goodbye, I could say, I reference it by referencing the text -0 within these curly braces. So that's what I'm doing here, is I'm saying take the output, that is piped through routing -0, and that's my user prompt. So that will be my whatever I sent in my message, right? So from there, same sort of thing. I need to do as we did before, the response AI, right? So do that. And then at that point, we're going to want to listen. So I'm just going to stick this over here and pipe the response over to listen. And the listen, once I receive an input from the user, going back over here to check if the conversation is over or if I want to keep in that same loop, right? So let's go ahead and test that out. So I'm just going to say hello. We expect that not to hit that. So now we're in the LLM. Let's restart this. All right, so there's hello. Then it's okay. Greetings. There we go. So there's our message, right? So then I'm gonna just say, I want to take over the galaxy, right? So from there, let it process. Let it process. I probably should have put a max length on there. Yep. Whoops. Anyways, so basically what's happening is I'm sending a new message. So an ambitious goal indeed, whatever, I can say, can you help me? And what I'm trying to get to this to occur here is you'll see that there's basically no context. There's no it kind of seems like it's remembering what the conversation, the history, but it's not, right? So because I'm not passing any of that history, so it doesn't actually remember like what the message was that three messages ago. So it's gonna not be as accurate in completion. So in order to handle that, actually, you know what, real quick, I'm just gonna put the max length here and make sure it's a little bit less. But what we have here is we have a set variables, right, that you can use to save information and reference later. So in that we have a set and a read. So what I would typically want to do is with here I want to set the as I receive input. Sorry, that would actually be from the listen node. I want to set or append. You'll see there's I'm just going to drag this out here, show you. It's probably a lot better. So there's an action you can set or append to a variable, and here's the variables. So there is a chat history in here, which is what we will want to utilize for our to maintain that chat history and pass to the LLM so that it can have that conversational context. However, chat history is one that we actually handle for you because it will be used in a lot of situations. So you don't actually have to set that at all. Every output and input, so every AI assistant output and every message that you get from the AI assistant and every message that you send will be added to that chat history variable. So I'm not going to add that. We'll get into some other use cases in another video probably about what you may want to set, like age, whatever, name of the user and that kind of stuff. But we won't get into that yet. So I'm going to just delete the set node actually, because it's automatically done for you. But what we do need to do is make sure that it is read and passed into the LLM. So I will take the read node right here, and in here you can select which variable. So chat history is already there, and I can throw that in here. So that's great. This new it's now being inputted in there, but we are not referencing it at all in our prompt. So what I need to do, just like we did with the routing -0 reference to this other node or the input, I need to reference this read -0, and I'm going to add that to the system prompt. So I can do this, right, and then that will now be passed. Another thing that you can do is you can also reference the variable itself. So you should be able to also go like this and do chat history, but I'll just keep it at read -0. Okay. So we'll do that. I'm going to just throw the temperature up. I'm going to also say you like emojis. see what that gives us. All right. So let's try it again. I'm just gonna. All right. Here we go. Hello. All right. How may I assist you in your journey? Oh, I did not mention before. There's in the sandbox, you will see this AI response chunk of data passed back, and in it you can see how long it took, tokens that were used, and the model. There's whatever relevant information that's needed in the response. You might also have multiple LLMs chained together. Who knows? So those tokens will be summed up, and you'll see the total for that one response. But let's see. And Journey to the Dark. Wow. Okay. So to embrace your inner darkness and become bad, here are the. So then I'm going to actually just reference this. Can you help me with number 2? We'll see if he knows what I'm talking about. Surround yourself with like-minded individuals. Okay. All right. Of course, I can certainly assist you in finding like-minded individuals to join forces with. So there, now it remembered. So it was able to reference, use the history of chat to know what I was talking about with number 2. So there you go. That's the gist of it. There are a ton of use cases, and we didn't even touch bots, stacks, and bots. So we'll get into that in another video. Okay, see you later.